Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Auto Racing here at Seekonk Speedway, courtesy of CVI Sports. And this week, Auto Trader. I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring, and it's going to be an exciting night. Firstly, we'd like to welcome, as our sponsor this evening, Auto Trader magazines, and as you can see, they sponsor the Gene Weston automobile in the Street Stock division. We wish them all the best of luck, and we're glad you're here along with us as well. Tom, you know, I've got to ask, because this is one of only 3 100-lap Pro Stock races. This is the LaCava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stocker. What differences should we expect, for instance, in driver strategy or setups?
Well, to my way of thinking, Pete, I think the most important difference you'll see tonight is that traffic's going to be really important, especially once a few laps are down. When cars start getting lapped, that's something that the Pro Stock drivers, and none of the drivers here for that matter, see an awful lot of. A lot of drivers out here don't have a lot of experience racing in lap traffic, and when you see a slower car and 2 cars maybe fighting for the lead or fighting for position come up on that lap car, you'll see the driver that has experience, whether he's leading or following, to be able to use that lap car and keep the other driver behind him, as well as if a driver gets a lead, if they're able to extend the lead and use the traffic to hold up the cars behind them, or if the cars are going to hold up the leader and let the people who are trying to catch up, give them that opportunity to catch up. So, and
of course, when you speak about lap traffic, the slower cars and the leaders trying to get around them, it also presents hazards as well, because anything could happen when these cars are going upwards of 60, 70 miles an hour around this track. They've got to keep these cars maintained and ready to go for all 100 laps.
Absolutely, and you know, it's hot tonight. It's certainly the hottest night we've had this season. With a long race like that, and the fact, again, that these drivers aren't used to racing for that many laps. We've already seen some heat races where there's been a little more mayhem and action than you might expect, even for Seekonk Speedway. I think you'll see there's a good opportunity. We're going to see a lot of yellow flags tonight, a lot of cars heading to the pits. If there are early yellow flags, one thing that can happen tonight that usually wouldn't happen, cars can get into the pits, make repairs, change that flat tire, whatever it might be, get back out at the tail of the field and still have an opportunity to get up to the front by the end of the race. So unlike a typical night with a 35-lap Pro Stock feature, if you get knocked out early and have to head to the pits, it isn't necessarily the end of your night. So that's an important thing to keep in mind tonight as well.
Because you do have time.
Absolutely.
Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you here tonight, and we also welcome Auto Trader magazines as our proud sponsor of our 100-lap race tonight, along with Sowersby and LaCava. So stay tuned. We've got a lot of action here at Seekonk Speedway. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Seekonk Speedway, right here with exclusive CVI coverage. We'd like to also welcome to our fold Auto Trader magazines, a proud sponsor of tonight's racing here at Seekonk Speedway, and of course the 00 car of Gene Weston. I'm Pete Silva, joined in the booth here by Tom Ring. Tom, should be, well, an interesting night to say the least. Coming into this racing action tonight, it was 98 degrees.
Yeah, it was an interesting night so far with the feature races, as we said in the intro. It's hot, and a lot of times that brings some really wild racing, so the Street Stock's a good place to start. Here we go.
And we're under green now, as you see our starter Al Rodriguez taken by the start-finish line.
Lee Parmentier is in the lead right now. He was on the pole for tonight's race.
As the field opens up now a little bit, there's the number 70 car, your current leader.
Yeah, Lee Parmentier.
He's being challenged on the outside now by the 65 car, trying to make his way around. The high groove is not the best groove here at Seekonk Speedway, especially in this division. The middle of the pack, you see the 59 car, you see the 72, all of them trying to make pace. It's very, very hot inside those cockpits in these automobiles tonight. I'm sure John Horrigan, our track reporter, will get a word or two with some of the drivers and, of course, the crew members. Get a better perspective of what it's like to drive on a night like this here at Seekonk Speedway. Palmer in that 70 car trying to maintain the inside groove, and we get a real mishap now on turn 2. A lot of automobiles involved. The 00 car of Gene Weston, the Auto Trader magazine's automobile, gets by the mess, but this brings us under our first caution for the night. The the 49 car. A lot of auto damage there, Tom, I'll tell you.
Dave Westgate's in there. Bob Betancourt Jr. in the 21 there's pulling away. And it's tough. We've made enough mistakes this season trying to guess who cars are, so I'm going to hold off. I have an idea.
They are locked up, as it were.
So what the heck? I believe that's number 63, Ken Spencer. And I want to mention that because he's the points leader at the moment. That's not a good way to start, but there's the two leaders. Lee Parmenter and the number 65 car is Ron Lauro.
And there's your leader. We'll look for a replay right now on our street stock division. Here comes our replay now, presented by the good folks at Auto Trader Magazines in the street stock division here at Seekonk Speedway. We'll try to find out exactly what happened there on turn 2.
They really started clean tonight, though. That was good to see. They decided they were going to make liars out of me, I guess.
Well, you know, it's a difficult one to call, absolutely. I mean, cautions are certainly part of the racing game, especially on short track racing, tracks such as this in Seekonk Speedway, as we wait for our Auto Trader Magazine's replay. But certainly tonight is much different. This is the first night in the 1995 season I think we've seen temperatures like this. There's our assistant starter, Mark Cunha, who of course took over that slot early in the season when Al Rodriguez went from assistant starter to starter. Ron Manfredo unfortunately had a mishap with a pro stock automobile in the early days of the season. He's doing fine, thank you.
Right now, the delays, it is Ken Spencer that's about to get on the hook, as well as Tony Olszewski in the number 7 car, who they're both sitting about midway down the back straightaway. And unfortunately, both of them are requiring records to get them off the track, so this will probably be a bit of a delay.
And I get word from our producers now. We should have our replay of the mishap in this street stock feature event here Saturday night, July 15th.
And you see the activity on the back straight there.
Lee Parmenter in that green number 70 car started on the pole tonight. Not a whole lot of a chance to for anybody in the field to make their way through. Again, a very early caution, the first one for the feature tonight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. Ron Lauro was getting to the outside of the number 70 car of Parmenter, so I want to see if they'll have that opportunity to challenge for the lead when we go to green again.
Okay, as we get a good shot of our race fans here on a very warm night at Seekonk Speedway, we're going to take a short pause and stick around. This is CVI Sports. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Street Stock Division here at Seekonk Speedway. Tonight's racing brought to you by Auto Trader Magazines, a proud sponsor. Welcome aboard to Auto Trader Magazines, a huge company.
Nice job by John Sylvia there, and sorry there, Pete, but Ron Lauro and John Sylvia made a Lee Parmenter sandwich
and
there.
Amasi
Right
Harmon, did you see that, Tom? Amasi Harmon in the 40 car gets sideways, but makes his way around, and boy, is he running very well right now.
He's taken off after the 65 there of Lauro.
He got a little bit slippery, recovered well, though, and got himself into second position right now.
That was a great move by Harmon.
He's had some tough breaks on this track, especially this season, but he's doing very well as he goes up for that high groove, a very difficult groove for any of the divisions here.
You see, it's probably, I mean, that's probably why he got sideways. It's probably slicker than usual tonight.
Again, you know, the question is how will the racing temperatures affect what goes on here not only mechanically with the automobiles, but the drivers' focus in their minds. And on to the infield is the 41 automobile of Pete Rhoda. Makes his way back out again onto the track, keeping us on the green in the street stock feature here at Seekonk Speedway. A good shot of midfield. The 0-0 car of Gene Weston, of course. Auto Trader Magazines brings that to us tonight.
John Sylvia, he's up on the outside now, so he's into trouble. He's dropped out of second position.
And there's Amasi Harmon now in that 40 car. Your current leader, he's done a great job. Really a remarkable driving job is that 65 car. I believe it's, well, I could be wrong. He's got some body damage. He's flapping in the wind, as it were.
Yeah, his hood looks like one of the pins popped out. And that isn't going to affect how the car's driving, but it's possible that the hood could come right up and impede his view. The problem with that is he could see the black flag.
Ron Luro in that 65, and again, a good shot of that 0-0 car. You saw that earlier in our broadcast, out in pit entrance, pit way, if you will. Weston really running hard. He's trailing behind a driver that's got a lot of smoke coming out of the rear of that car. Very difficult thing to do indeed.
Yeah, that's Al Clements, and I think he's the one that's going to see the black flag. As a matter of fact, there it is.
He gets the black flag, and he gets sideways now. We're about to see that as we see our leader. There's Weston getting into trouble now. Oh, a difficult break. Weston gets sideways into that 72 automobile. Gene Weston in the Auto Traders automobile gets his way out of the mess. This does bring us under our second caution of the night as the 72 car makes his way out into the pits after being black flagged.
And that car, just in the corner of your screen, or you saw him along the top of the track, that was the number 33 car of Sean Sylvia. He had actually stalled entering turn 3, was dead in the track high along the wall before the crash in the first corner happened. So the yellow flag was going to come out in any event before Gene Weston and Al Clements got into trouble there.
And here it is, our CVI Sports Auto Traders Magazine replay as we see the 0-0 of Gene Weston broadsiding that 72 car.
And I would speculate that Clements probably got into trouble in his own oil.
Well, he was really spewing a lot of smoke for the last 2 laps or so, getting a black flag each time around, and it must have been a very difficult job for Weston in that 0-0 car, trying to maintain with, you have all that debris and smoke going into the cockpit. Difficult enough as it is to be racing in these kinds of temperatures tonight. Coming in tonight's racing with 98 degrees on the thermometer, so you can imagine what it's like inside of the cockpit. And there's the 0-0 again. Courtesy of Auto Trader Magazine. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome Auto Trader Magazines to our fold tonight, bringing us exclusive race coverage here at Seekonk Speedway. I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring and John Horgan, our track reporter. Glad you're with us.
Obviously enough, Auto Trader Magazine is also making possible, or helping to make possible, Gene Weston's street stock effort this year.
And so we are under our second caution tonight in the street stock division.
That was a signal we just saw from Al Rodriguez. That's the signal to double up, line up 2x2, and hopefully that will proceed by a lap or two the green flag again.
Actually, that's right, Tom. If I'm not mistaken, the starter and assistant starter receive automobile positions from the scoring tower by radio, and they get down on the track and line them up. As you can see, we've got our street stock standings coming into tonight's racing. 63 car of Ken Spencer we saw in trouble a little while ago with a commanding lead, 332 points, Tom.
And Mike Camara's in second right now. And Matt Dewey is in third. He's also had a rough time tonight, but he's standing right now in 6th position, so he's able to pull it together. Jim Lawrence is in 4th position. Bob Betancourt Jr., the number 21 car, he was also involved in an incident earlier in the race, so some of the top street stock cars this year having a tough race tonight.
And we're back under green. And again, Amasi Harmon in that number 40 automobile has made his way up through the pack to take a lead right now. 1 car length lead, doing a great job. We see still some loose body panels at left front quarter of the hood as he gets sideways there, that 65 car. Ronnie Luro in that 65.
now Harmon's really in command, so it's going to be tough for Lauro to reel him in here. Hopefully, get another yellow flag incident.
And there it is. Gene Weston again involved in that Auto Traders automobile. Once again involved in a mishap into the infield. We're still under green, though. Everyone is out of harm's way.
That was Rob Rotondo that he was in trouble with. Rob Rotondo's in the infield at the moment, so it stays under green. Mesa Harmon, he doesn't mind that at all because he's able to maintain the distance between him and Lauro.
A lot of body damage on that automobile. The number 24 car, as you saw, made its way around as a front bumper hanging, and now we get into trouble again between turn 1 and 2. That 59 car is completely sideways.
Jose Ferro, and I was just about to mention that he was in 4th position. Wanted to give him credit for that, and as soon as the thought came into my mind, there he was sideways in turn 1.
And now the incident brings us under our 3rd caution here in the street stock division. That 59 car of Jose Ferro again in trouble.
Chris McGee just saw the black flag, and it's not really obvious from where we sit why his car was black flagged, but they did black flag him, and he's rolling along the top of the track. He'll be leaving, heading into the pits.
We'll look for a replay now. Yes, we've got our CVI Sports Auto Trader Magazine replay, and there you have it. Jose Ferro in the 59 car simply getting sideways. The rest of the field doing their best to get around him, but he ends up facing the opposite direction on the track, bringing us under our 3rd caution of the evening in the street stock division.
Well, the current name of Jimmy Parker.
And so, while the races are under yellow, we're going to take a quick yellow, but don't go away. We've got plenty of action ahead of us. This is CVI Sports.
The swarm, creatures wrapped in multi-hued nomex. Their habitat is known as the pit. Intensely focused and intimidating, the swarm is the ultimate gang. They serve the king with majestic speed. Although they look similar, they wear name tags for identification. Why? We don't know. But it's probably a territorial instinct. NASCAR on ESPN.
Glad you've rejoined us, ladies and gentlemen. We're back underway here at Seekonk Speedway, and of course the good folks at Auto Traders Magazine bringing us street stock racing. It is Amos Harmon, your current leader right now. We're on just about lap 19. It's lap 18, excuse me, out of our 20-lap race. Amos Harmon coming up from the middle of the pack to find his way in the lead, followed by that 65 car of Ronnie Lauro. And we get a little bit of trouble again, but they straighten out. This does not deter your leaders as they battle it out with 1 lap to go in this 20-lap street stock division race.
And I'm going to say Harmon and Ronald Lauro have opened up quite the lead. Right now, there's a good battle for 3rd with Matt Dewey trying to get to the inside of Richard Demers. You can see it now.
And we've got the checker flag, Tom. It's Amos Harmon in that number 40 automobile taking the win here in the street stock division at Seekonk Speedway.
Ron Lauro in 2nd, and Matt Dewey was able to take 3rd. Good night for Matt Dewey. He's been struggling this season.
He always runs very, very well. He started way down in the field. Amos Harmon in that 40 car made his way through the pack, of course, to take the feature win here at Seekonk Speedway. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're awfully glad you're with us. This is Saturday night, July 15th. I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring in the broadcaster's booth, and we've got John Horrigan, our track reporter.
Harmon started in 12th position. I'm going to stay away from his first name. I can't pronounce that name.
Amos. You know, I'll tell you, my first year here at Seekonk Speedway, I mispronounced it for an entire season. I think with lots of chuckles and giggles, everyone let me do it until the very end.
Well, that's
caught a good reprimand from Mr. Harmon himself.
Well, that's one of the luxuries of being a writer, is as long as I know how to spell it, I don't have to know how to pronounce it. Here I am now, paying the price. But he certainly did a great job tonight coming from 12th. And that pass for the lead, that was just a great move on his part.
looking for a replay right now, courtesy of the good folks at Auto Trader Magazines. And here we go. We've got the checker flag coming down for Amasi Harmon in that 40 car. Ronnie Luro surviving the race with a lot of body damage, and he saw in that left front quarter.
Yeah, he really hung it out in an effort to try to make something, see if he could take the lead. He really didn't have the car in a position where he was going to make the pass, but he gave it his all, certainly.
Tremendous job, and you see Al Cunha, our starter, on the left-hand side of the screen, and on the right-hand side with the checker flag is Mark. I'm sorry, I said Al Cunha, didn't I? Al Rodriguez and Mark Cunha, our assistant starter, as they make their way back to the flag stand. Amasi Harmon, very proud indeed. His first feature win, I believe, for the 1995 season. The 50th season here at Seekonk Speedway. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to racing here tonight, and we'd also like you to join us in welcoming Auto Trader Magazine as a proud sponsor of tonight's racing here at the Speedway. As we see a great shot of the pitway. And so this wraps up the Street Stock feature division at Seekonk Speedway, but do not go away. We've got a whole lot more action coming. This is CVI Sports.
Are you interested in selling your car? Are you looking for a quality used car? Are you tired of reading about a car and then finding out it's not quite what you had in mind when you finally get to see it? Don't forget all those newspaper classifieds and pick up a copy of Auto Trader Magazine. Call 401-946-6400 if you'd like to place an ad. Auto Trader is a weekly publication available at a store near you. Pick up one today, you might just find the car you're looking for.
John Horgan with Amasi Harmon, winner of the Streeters Division. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
He was running well tonight. You won the third heat, and then you came out here, held off Rich Loro, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. I was, when they gave me the halfway, I thought it was a lot closer when we had that first caution, and we were going a long time before the checkered came out.
Yeah, a couple of things I noticed. First of all, off of those cautions, you had tremendous restarts.
Well, I got Finest Auto was the whole motor builder, and that's credit for that.
Yeah. When there's that much carnage in the race, that many yellows, it's good to stay out of trouble, which you also did.
Well, I got lucky. There was a big crash in front of me, and I squeezed through it. That's all I can say.
Sometimes that's all you need, MC.
That's all you need. 5 weeks in a row, I was on the hook. Now I got 2 wins.
Yeah. Congratulations, Amasi Harmon, his second win here in the Streeters Division. Back upstairs to Pete and Tom.
Thank you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the big one. This is the Pro Stock race, the LaCava Sowersby 100 lapper, brought to you exclusively from CVI Sports, and of course our brand new sponsor tonight, Auto Trader Magazine. We welcome them aboard, and of course we welcome you here to Seekonk Speedway. I'm Pete Silva, joined in the broadcast tower with Tom Ring, and we've got John Horgan, our track reporter, as we see the Pro Stocks make their way around the start-finish line. That is Al Rodriguez, our starter, giving them the cue one more time around. A beautiful night of racing here tonight, Tom. And immediately we got some trouble. There's the 94 car, Rick Martin in the pits getting worked on.
George Rigo, number 64, is in the pits. Randy Burr entered the pits as well, number 44. I don't know if that's something in particular that happened tonight. It may just be the fact that, again, with 100 laps, they've got the time now. You're better off. You're going to be out there for a while, so if you've got a problem, you're not going to try to struggle through 35 laps with it like in a 35-lap race. You want to get it straightened out so you can get out here, have the car working well, and you can move up through the field in 100 laps. So I think that's part of what's going on with Rick Martin, for one, with that car right there.
Absolutely. I think you're right, as you so clearly put earlier in the evening before the races started, how the mindset, both mechanically and psychologically.
And there you see right there, Rick Martin's the point leader, so he wants to protect that points lead, and I think that's on his mind as he goes into the pits right now. I hope that's all it is. I hope it isn't something major that's going to keep him off the track. Already Randy Burr and George Rigo have entered the track again.
And with only 14 points in the lead, barely enough. As we approach halfway, we've got our halfway mark here at the 1995 season at Seekonk Speedway, their 50th year. And we appreciate all of the folks here at Seekonk Speedway having us along.
You see the point standings there. Bobby Turpin second is starting well back in the field, as well as Wayne Dion, who's third in the points.
And we just saw a 94 car of Rick Martin making his way back into the field.
So when he looks at things from the standpoint of the points championship, he doesn't have a lot to lose by going in the pits before the green flag falls.
Again, this is the LeCalver-Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race. We welcome you here. We also welcome Auto Trader as the sponsor of tonight's racing here. Auto Trader is, of course, the finest publication. If you want to look for a quality used car, there is no other place to look except for Auto Trader magazines at your local newsstands. Had a little chat with the CEO of the company. It's a 5-year-old company, Tom. I did not know that. They are nationwide, and in 5 years, they've expanded to 72 offices in 30 states. A pretty amazing track record, if we can use the pun. Once again, we welcome Auto Trader magazines here, bringing you exclusive sports coverage at Seekonk Speedway. We look for the start of our LeCalver-Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock feature event, Saturday night, July 15th, and what a night it is. Coming into tonight's racing, we had temperatures just under 100 degrees. It's cooled down a bit, but I'm sure, Tom, that this is going to affect how those drivers, well, basically their comfort zone in that cockpit.
Well, they've definitely, you can see some of the drivers have prepared the car for a long night and a hot night. You saw Dave Blanchard's car there with the basically dryer duct tubing that he uses the tie wraps to mount so that it's going to force some air into the interior. I noticed Dave Blanchard earlier also put a mount into the car so that he could carry a water bottle that he could use during caution period. So those are the kind of preparations you make on a night like this to race 100 laps at Seekonk Speedway.
We're looking for the green. We are underway. This is the big one, the Pro Stock division at Seekonk Speedway, and immediately the action gets hot and furious.
That's Dave Blanchard taking the lead right there, number 74.
He's doing a great job, but I'll tell you, he's being challenged very heavily as they go 3 deep into turn 4. Very daring moves this early in a race such as this one, 100 laps long. Of course, the normal lap times on these cars, or rather the normal amount of laps in a race, is only 35 laps. So it's more than double the distance.
Mike Bowler on the inside in second, and Chad Chase on the outside have a battle going early here.
Chad Chase, you see that red, black, number 9 car, that wins automobile as he makes his way, trying to hang on.
He'd like to win this race tonight because he's sponsored by the sponsor of the race, LeCalver and Sowersby Auto Parts.
A fine, fine shot as they make their way past the start-finish line. But again, your current leader is that number 74 car, Dave Blanchard, getting down on the inside groove. Tom, this is exactly what we saw last year and in previous 100 lappers, where they find their pace and they stick with it, looking for a groove very early on.
Well, usually you see aggressive driving early. You want to gain some position, but you can't race like that through 100 laps. You'll see certainly there'll be a period of time during this race where guys kind of settle in and maintain that position, that's not going to happen yet, though. Certainly early in the race, we've got some younger drivers here that are going to go for it, although Ray Lee is up there challenging, moving into second position now, and he's certainly a veteran here.
Ray Lee is doing a tremendous job making his way through the field, trying to get inside, getting underneath Blanchard to take second place as we see the field. There's Ray Lee in that 33 car trying to get down underneath, and look at him maneuver that automobile as he makes his way onto the outside of Blanchard in the 74 car.
Well, if you feel your car's working, and he obviously does, if you can get into the lead and start to pull away, there's no better place to be in the field than first. So.
Mike Bowler in the 10 car, and the inside of Ray Lee in the 33. And there's Rick Martin in that 94 car. Martin's got a feature under his belt as well here in the 1995 season. Again, Blanchard in that blue 74, hanging on to his lead, but I'll tell you, he must feel the pressure as he's got Ray Lee in the 33 and Mike Bowler in the 10 knocking on his door every moment of the circuit.
He's doing a good job right now. These guys are really, a lot of guys up there. If you're near the front, you want to get the lead and then try to pull away, and that's what a lot of veteran drivers, successful drivers like Freddie Estelle there in the yellow car on the outside. Tex Barry Jr. is also challenging up there. Those are guys that want to get the lead early and see if they can put some distance on the rest of the field.
Here's a great shot of the 48 car, Fred Estelle Jr. He He's doing another tremendous job making his way through the pack. The 00 of Rich Caparco, that brand new Chevy Monte Carlo. New for him this year. And now we're under caution. We've got trouble. We'll see it come up on the infield in turn 2. The 18 car of Tex Barry Jr., the 99 of Wayne Dion. Both of them getting back underway, but this brings us under our first caution of the night here at the La Cava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock feature event. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us. I'm Pete Silver, along with Tom Ring and John Horgan. Love also for you to welcome Auto Trader Magazines as a sponsor, bringing us tonight's racing here in this Pro Stock feature event.
Dave Blanchard's still in the lead here. Now you're going to see a situation where Ray Lee is going to line up outside of him for the restart.
Ray Lee certainly seemed to have the power and the maneuverability of that car. He was just looking for a break to get around Blanchard in that 74, and I'll tell you, it looked like it was going to happen any moment.
Well, this could be the break. Obviously, he was running well on the outside, and he may have a good enough car to get by Blanchard on the restart. He's also a veteran driver, so he'll know what to do. Of course, as we've talked about earlier in the season, Blanchard will control the start.
And here's our Pro Stock standings. Of course, the 94 car of Rick Martin in first place, but just by a minimal lead. He's got 328 points. Bobby Tripp in the 88 with 314, Tom. I'll tell you, that's a squeaker if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, and right now, early in the race, Bobby Tripp has a position on Rick Martin.
And the 99 car of Wayne Dion takes the third position in the point standings with 278. Technically tied with the number 1 car of Dick Houlihan, who had a feature win under his belt 2 weeks ago. I believe last week's race may have been rained out. And wrapping up the top 5 is the number 23 car of Steve Channing with 256 points. So it's truly a tight race.
Steve Channing, of course, is the winner of the first 100-lap race that was run earlier this season.
And there's Tex Barry Jr. in conference at the start-finish line with Al Rodriguez, our senior starter here at Seekonk Speedway. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Seekonk Speedway Racing is brought to you tonight exclusively by Auto Trader Magazine, published weeker. Buy, sell, or trade your used automobile. Just call 401-946-6400. That's Auto Trader Magazine. And Tom, I'll tell you, very impressive company. Again, I was talking to Lou, the CEO of the company. It's 5 years old. Nationwide. In 5 years, they've gone nationwide with 72 offices in 30 states. Very impressive indeed. They also sponsor the 00 cars you saw previously in the street stock division. That car, of course, being driven by Gene Weston from Warwick, Rhode Island.
We saw a lot of Gene Weston tonight, unfortunately for the wrong reason.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like every caution was associated somehow, fault or not, with Gene Weston. Tough break for that gentleman. And so your current leader is Dave Blanchard in that blue 74 car, but I'll tell you, he's being challenged right now by Ray Lee in that 33. Both drivers doing a tremendous job. Dave Blanchard comes to us from Middleborough, Massachusetts, driving a 93 Chevy Lumina. And there's the 41 car of Lenny Ellis. He's also a broadcaster, WALE AM radio in Providence, Rhode Island. He's got a show called Speed Talk, I believe.
It's a talk show that features, concentrates on Seekonk Speedway, a call-in show that's weekly on Wednesday nights.
Tom, you were up at, this reminds me, you were up at Loudon for the Slick 5300 with a record crowd of 81,000 people. You can't tell me that auto racing and stock car racing indeed is not popular here in the Northeast, for sure.
That'll be the biggest crowd they get of any sporting event this season. And the place was a zoo, let me tell you.
I bet.
Really, and the thing that's more impressive is even on Friday, which is nothing but practice and qualifying, there was a big crowd. I'm no professional at estimating crowds, but I'm willing to bet there were 30,000, 40,000 people there. And another big crowd on Saturday for the second day of qualifying for the Winston Cup, as well as the two great races. The Busch North race won by Ricky Craven, and Steve Park won the modified race. It was just, that race was incredible, and it always is there. There were 4 cars fighting for the lead.
And as you speak so well about crowds, you can see here at Seekonk Speedway, they have no trouble attracting race fans every Saturday night. We're glad you're along with us here. This is CVI Sports coverage. I'm Pete Silver along with Tom Ring and John Horrigan. We're glad you're helping us out and welcoming Auto Trader Magazine as our sponsor tonight. This is the La Cava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race, the second of only 3 100-lap races the 1995 season. Looking for the green. We're back underway. Ray Lee in that 33 car doing a tremendous job coming on the outside of Blanchard, and underneath is Estelle in the 48. But Ray Lee looks like he may have what it takes as they head toward turn 4. 3 deep. Ray Lee is really on the move. He's got himself the lead. Now, Tom, we'll see if he can get that inside groove to kind of take the pressure off it a little bit.
There you go. That was exactly, we talked about on the restart, his opportunity, and he took advantage of it, absolutely. Yeah.
So many times on this short track as a caution flag changed the face of the leaders. And now Ray Lee has a tremendous lead. Probably 2 car lengths as we see it here from our vantage point. There's Dave Blanchard in the 74, Fred Estelle in the 48, and in that 23, Steve Channing. Steve Channing, again, you remember, wrapping up the top 5 in the point standing coming into tonight's racing.
This is what Lee wanted to see. I think he felt he had the car that worked better than Dave Blanchard, and he knew if he could get around Blanchard that everybody else was going to have to do the same thing. They might have cars that are working better than Dave Blanchard, but they've got to get around Blanchard, and it's one thing to have a faster car. It's another thing to have a car that's fast enough to pass somebody.
Absolutely. It takes an awful lot of muscle to get your way around, especially on that high groove here at Seekonk Speedway, which is certainly not favorable.
Ray Lee will work to get as much distance between him and the second place driver as he can. You know, my suspicion is that if Freddie Estelle can get around Blanchard, you'll see him move away from the pack as well. And it's going to be a question of how much distance is he going to have to make up to catch up to Lee and start fighting for the lead.
And there's a beautiful sight as our photographers get that rolling thunder coming down straight away.
We saw James Whitehead pass the start-finish line. His car was a little loose.
And Fred Estelle really coming in tight. I'll tell you, he got almost a little sideways fighting that high groove, but now he's getting around Dave Blanchard. Estelle in that yellow 48 car. Beautiful sight indeed.
That Ford Thunderbird. He's impatient. He wants to get by.
He does.
For the lead.
He does a tremendous job. He gets himself in ahead to take second place, and now Blanchard drops back to third. There's the 9 car and the 22 car of Tony Dias. You see that 22 automobile. He's got a feature win as well here in the 1995 season.
One thing Dave Blanchard's doing really well, and that's maintaining the inside line.
Ray Lee is all alone as we see the caution go out. We've got trouble in turn 3. We're about to see that now. We've got a spin on turn 3. It looks like George Rigo in the 64 and Lenny Ellis in the 41, bringing us under our second caution, I believe, for the night here at the La Cava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race.
Now with a caution flag, you see that now everything changes because that lead that Ray Lee built up, now it's all for naught, as they say.
Again, we saw the last caution flag completely change the front runners. And so we are under yellow, but don't go away, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a lot of tremendous racing action here at Seekonk Speedway. This is CVI Sports.
Remember how good it felt the first time you gave 5? Well, now there's another way to give 5. Set a goal to give more. 5 hours a week and 5% of your income to the causes you care about. It'll make you feel like a winner every day of your life. So give more. Give 5. Call 1-800-55-GIVE-5.
From the Pro Stock Division, Tony Diaz's car. We're with Ray Johnson. Ray, what are you doing right now?
Well, we're putting a little different gear in it for the long race. Running 100 laps, we want to put a little more gear in the car so it's a little more easier on the tires. In a shorter race, we could probably go and turn the motor a little bit more, but in this 100 lapper, we want to take it easy on it. It'll be easier on the tires and easier on the engine.
Absolutely. Now, Tony ran very well in the preliminary race there, and usually you don't see people ripping apart cars just before a feature race, but this is the 100 lapper. You've got to make a change from the qualifying heat to the major race.
Yeah, well, we did go good in the heat race there, but I think we can go better. I think we can do a lot better than we did in the heat race. The car's good, and I think we can win this one tonight.
Great. Thank you very much, Ray. Ray Johnson, working on the Alberts car, number 22, Tony Dias. Back upstairs to the boys.
Thanks for rejoining us, ladies and gentlemen. This is Seekonk Speedway. I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring and John Horrigan. And we'd like to welcome Auto Trader Magazine as our exclusive sponsor tonight for this 100-lap Pro Stock race as we look for a restart. Looking for a green after our fourth caution. We've got it. Al Rodriguez drops that flag, and off they go. Ray Lee in that 33 car now being challenged by the 9 car. We got trouble again. They make their way out of the mayhem, though.
Nice job by Steve Channing to keep it together there. That could have been a major incident if his car came around.
Really a great job. You know, these cars only have 3 inches or so of ground clearance, and I'll tell you, there's more than 3 inches between the pavement and the inside of that infield on the turns. So it really gets nasty when they drop down below the below that inside groove. And there's the 9 car right now. You're currently your second place leader, Chad Chase in that 9 car. Again, he's proud because he's sponsored by LaCava Sowersby, the folks that brought you this 100-lap Pro Stock race here at Seekonk Speedway. You know, I do have to make an apology to Lou DeMario of Auto Trader Magazine. He is the marketing director, not the CEO, although we know how marketing people are and salespeople are, and they work as hard or harder than anyone else in the industry. And we welcome Lou here tonight. And of course, we welcome Auto Trader Magazine as our exclusive sponsor.
Maybe someday, Lou. Great battle there for second. That's Chad Chase on the inside and Bobby Tripp on the outside. So forget any problems. There you see the body damage.
Yeah,
but he's not affecting the way he's running.
Absolutely. An incredible amount of damage that Tripp is running in that 88 car in that right side rocker panel. But he makes his way around the pack, getting himself into second position. Ray Lee in that 33 car, you still go by your screen, has absolutely no competition at all.
Now I think Bobby Tripp's going to give chase to Ray Lee. This could be fun. Now Steve Channing's trying to get around. You just saw on the corner of your screen. He's trying to move into third.
Well, the race right now is right there in second and third position.
That's for the battle for third we're looking at.
Chase in that 9 car on the inside, Channing in the 23 on the outside as they go wheel to wheel, going into the back straight.
That's really amazing to see those guys run on the outside like that. That's one of the things that's great about Seekonk Speedway. There's a lot of tracks. If you get on the outside, you're lost.
A tremendous job. There's midfield, 99 car, Wayne Dion.
And of course, as I said that, there's Steve Channing dropping back on the outside.
They're really running much more aggressively than we're normally used to seeing in a 100-lap race. Of course, we only see them a few times a year here at Seekonk Speedway. This is a treat indeed. And Ray Lee, from our vantage point, seems to be simply trotting around the track with nary a competitor in sight.
Right now, Bobby Tripp probably has about a 5 or 6 car lead. He's kind of cut in half the distance between Lee and Chase. So speaking of Chase, he's making an effort to chase Ray Lee down.
And Ray Lee just did a 13.24 lap. Very impressive indeed. That's roughly 68 miles per hour, taking left-hand turns on this short track.
And slowly but surely, Bobby Tripp is catching up to Lee.
And we've got trouble. You're about to see it as we approach turn 2. Rick Martin in the 94 car.
Tex Barry is the car that was involved in that. Tex Barry Jr. and Rick Martin.
He's in that 18 car. He sustained a lot of damage to that right side. Rick Martin in the 94 got himself back righted underway. But this brings us under our 5th caution. Tex Barry in the 18 car, that Motion Motors automobile, really took a wallop on that right right side rocker panel.
One thing that's happening because of the yellow flags is it's keeping the whole field together, and we're not seeing any lapping going on. There's no traffic, racing in traffic to speak of so far.
We're looking for a CVI Sports Auto Trader Magazine's replay. We'll try to get that as soon as we can for you. And here it is. Take a look at the action. We saw Rick Martin over to the left-hand side of that screen, the left center, going completely around but recovering. Tex Barry Jr., though, he really got walloped. And on the right-hand side of your screen, we're trying to identify that driver for you, but he's really trying to make his way around the whole melee. That's 74. Dave Blanchard, a lot of tire smoke coming up from that car. Fine job indeed with Blanchard in getting out of that mess. And there's Ray Lee, your current leader. And so we'll take this opportunity to take a short break, but don't go away. This is CVI Sports.
Are you interested in selling your car? Are you looking for a quality used car? Are you tired of reading about a car and then finding out it's not quite what you had in mind when you finally get to see it? Well, forget all those newspaper classifieds and pick up a copy of Auto Trader magazine. Call 401-946-6400 if you'd like to place an ad. Auto Trader is a weekly publication available at a store near you. Pick up one today. You might just find the car you're looking for.
Rick Martin in the 94 HJY car in the Pro Stock. Rick, you're the points leader this year. Congratulations. Good season so far.
Yeah, we've been doing good so far. Keep it in one piece.
So you're leading when it comes to 35 laps. This is a 100 lapper. Any changes in your strategy?
Well, just to take it easy on the tires at the beginning because they'll be quite worn out at the end. So the more you use it at the beginning, the less you got at the end.
Yeah. What are you doing right now, the chart you're doing?
Well, we're changing tires, so we're trying to get the same weight back in with the new tires. We didn't want to put no laps on. We're putting brand new scuffed tires on.
Yeah, you go through a lot of tires on a hot night like this.
Well, you can't use the same tires in the heat and the warm-ups. They're going to run for 100 laps, but they just won't go the distance.
Well, good luck tonight, Radical Rick Martin.
Hey, thanks a lot. All right.
Back upstairs to Tom and Pete.
Thanks for rejoining us, ladies and gentlemen. We're back underway here at the La Cava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race at Seekonk Speedway. I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring and John Horrigan. And we welcome tonight, Auto Trader Magazine is our exclusive sponsor of tonight's racing. And we, of course, welcome you, ladies and gentlemen. There's your current leader on the inside, Ray Lee in that 33 car. But I'll tell you, he's being challenged. And we've got another caution, the 6th of the night, another one involving Lenny Ellis in that 41 car.
Yeah, his left rear is down there. Dave Sylvia on the number 0 car is also involved. That's what you see going by right now.
Again, we don't usually see this much aggression, if you will, in a 100-lap race. We went into this current green with 44 laps down, and we did not complete a lap. A tough break again for Lenny Ellis, involved in, unofficially, I believe, 4 of the 6 yellow flags that we've seen tonight. A lot of pressure on Ray Lee in that 33 car, as you saw go by. Bobby Tripp in the 88 making his way around. Rigo's back on the track in that 64. You saw a few moments ago his crew working diligently on that motor. And so, we'll take this opportunity to sneak a break. But don't you go away, ladies and gentlemen. This is the La Cava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race at Seekonk Speedway, and we are CVI Sports.
Here's one time it doesn't matter who your neighbor is. Here's the other. Life's too short. Stop the hate.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back under green here at the La Cava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race at Seekonk Speedway. I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring and John Horrigan. And we'd like you to join us in welcoming Auto Trader Magazine as our exclusive sponsor tonight. Ray Lee in that 33 car, Tripp in the 88 with some heavy be damage sustained in an earlier accident on that right front side. Lee trying to maintain that inside groove in this 100-lap race with 45 laps down. And Chad Chase in the 9 car, as you'll see, taking up 3rd position. He's fighting hard because his sponsors, LaCava Sowersby, bringing you the race this evening.
There's a yellow again.
And back under yellow, and this time it's Tony Dias in the 22 automobile. Under his own power, but it brings us under a caution. The 7th in this race this evening. Tony Dias Jr. in that 22 car with a brand new sponsor for him, Albert's Furniture. He's got a feature under his belt this 1995 season. And there you see Wayne Dion in the 99. Again, we were talking about Chad Chase in that number 9 car, the Wins LaCava Sowersby automobile. Big night for him. The 33 car, Ray Lee, your current leader, but boy, he's been challenged, Tom. He certainly has.
Yeah, right now, Ray Lee and Bobby Tripp are putting the show on. Their two cars right now seem to be the class of the field, and they were pulling away a bit, a couple of car lengths maybe, side by side. Just before we went to yellow, you might have noticed Bobby Tripp tuck his nose into the tail of Ray Lee's car and maybe take a look inside. He's been trying to get outside for a couple of laps there. Hasn't been able to make it happen, so he's probably thinking, well, I'll try the inside now.
Again, they have extra time, these drivers and crew people do, with 100 laps of racing, to strategize just a little bit more. And strategy it is as they fight to maintain their positions 100 times around this short track. 1/4 of a mile on the inside, 1/3 of a mile on the outside of the oval. And there you see the pits. Looks like Tex Barry Jr. getting out of his fire suit. Not a good sign indeed, as his crew still working fast and furiously on that automobile.
But he knows he's not going to be going back into this race anytime soon.
We'll try to get a word with Tex Barry Jr. as soon as we can. John Horgan, of course, in the pits as we speak.
Yeah, because we didn't have a good indication of what caused the incident, so maybe we can find that out. Number of cars coming back onto the track right now. Kevin Knapp just pulled on. Tony Dias is back out. Mike Bowler, we didn't notice when he went in, but he's back out on the track now.
We saw just previously a box of switches, a panel with switches on it, the starters booth. As we look for the green, and we're back underway. That box of switches is actually duplicates the flag so that there are lights at every corner for the drivers to see. Ray Lee in that 33 car again being pressured and hammered on the outside by Tripp in that 88 car. Doing everything he can to maintain that inside groove, the preferred groove here on this oval at Seekonk Speedway, and battling it out for 3rd place. Chad Chase in the 9 car. On the outside of Chad Chase, you see that yellow automobile approaching on the outside of your screen, the right-hand side of your screen. A beautiful job of Fred Estelle Jr. Excuse me, is that Fred Estelle? Tom, can you verify that?
I think that's Wayne Dion.
Wayne Dion in the 99 car certainly fooled me. Same colors, but boy, has he made his way up through the pack, and we're under yellow again. Lenny Ellis again involved. Lenny Ellis, you saw up on turn 3, near the pit entrance. Bringing us under yellow. We'll try to get more word as to who else was involved. The 40, I believe that was the 46 car. Got by me a little quick there. Jeff Thompson, maybe?
Jeff Thompson, yep.
Take a look at Ellis as he makes his way toward his pit crew. Well, we have not seen what we expected to see as the crew diligently works, Tom, and we're not seeing a lot of lap traffic, as it were. Certain leaders, perhaps the top 3, perhaps the top 5, really winging and making their way around this oval.
Well, I think, again, we talk about the number of yellow flags we've had tonight. That changes the strategy of the race. These guys don't, normally wouldn't expect to be, you'd see lap after lap of Ray Lee and Bobby Tripp running side by side, and, they come off of from a yellow to a green flag again, and there you are again. They have to run side by side.
is Lenny Ellis as he makes his way back to the track. You know, again, with Seekonk Speedway rules, as in with most short tracks, when it's yellow, if you leave for the pits, you return at the rear of the field. So no strategy can be planned for yellow flags as you would see in NASCAR racing.
Well, we're just about at the halfway point, so that's becoming more and more important as we get later in the race. You know, do you leave the track to see if you can make a repair? Do you have to? You'll see fewer and fewer cars doing that, and more cars staying out, even if the cars aren't working perfectly.
And Lenny Ellis back onto the track. He'll make his way to the rear of the field. And again, as they make their parade laps around under 8 cautions tonight, you also have to wonder whether fuel becomes a worry for these drivers.
Well, you got to give Lenny Ellis the Perseverance Award tonight, huh? Now we're going to see a situation again. Bobby Tripp will be on the outside of Ray Lee. I'm wondering right now if he's really comfortable out there. You know, you're side by side on the start, so you're going to stay there as long as you can hold it. Once Ray Lee, you know, takes command of the lead, and Bobby Tripp is more than a fender behind him, he's going to drop in, and it looks like he wanted to try the inside. He really hasn't had the opportunity. You're not going to relinquish that opportunity to be side by side with Ray Lee, so you can see if you can get inside him, because you're already halfway to getting around him on the outside. So we've seen a situation where we've only gone a couple of laps on a number of occasions before the yellow comes out again. If we see some, back-to-back, a few laps pile up under green flag conditions, then you may see Tripp not able to stay on the outside, and that'll give him the opportunity to go to the inside. The fact that we keep seeing yellow flags, it's open to question whether that's working to Bobby Tripp's disadvantage right now.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you here to Seekonk Speedway. I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring and John Horrigan. And we'd also like to say hello and thanks to Lou DiMario and the good folks at Auto Trader Magazine. Exclusive sponsorship, of tonight's racing here at Seekonk Speedway.
Lou's the marketing director.
Marketing director. We were willing to give him a promotion to CEO, but I think we've been overruled, Tom.
Yeah, by the CEO.
By the CEO himself.
Just kidding. Lou's a nice guy, so we're just working a little fun out.
And there is that situation you exactly were putting to words, where Lee trying to shut the door on the inside and Tripp on that 88 car. Again, I'm amazed at the amount of damage on that 88 automobile as it makes its way past our vantage point. But they're still going wheel to wheel down that back straight.
We're officially on the 50th lap right now, halfway through the race.
Exciting racing action indeed.
There's a battle for third right there, Chad Chase, and then Freddie Estelle with Wayne Dion on the outside, running side by side.
Estelle up in the front runners for most of this race. Chad Chase again making his way through the field. He's been floating on or about second, third, and fourth position most of the evening. As a beautiful shot is taken where the two leaders making their way down that front straightaway.
These guys are just, this is like a sprint race that's going on here.
And we take the lead. It's Bobby Tripp taking the lead. A tremendous advantage was taken by Tripp, getting in front of Ray Lee. What a job he did. He wasted no time, Tom, getting down to that inside groove.
Well, if I can speculate again, and I guess that's what I'm here for, it looked like Ray Lee had a problem there going into the third corner, because he was running really strongly, and it was side by side, and all of a sudden he dropped back. I'm not even going to try to guess what might have happened, but it sure looked like after battling for lap after lap after lap, all of a sudden it was awful easy that Bobby Tripp took the lead.
Well, it was certainly a case of the spider and the fly, because Tripp was waiting for that opportunity. He was poised and ready, and he certainly took it, as he is now your current leader with more than 50 laps complete in this 100-lap race. Ray Lee now doing his best to maintain second position as the gap widens between first, second, and third. Third being that number 9 car of Chad Chase. Again, the pressure is on for Chad Chase. His sponsors are bringing you tonight's racing at Seekonk Speedway. This is the La Cava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race. And sideways goes the 0 car. He recovers, but boy, I'll tell you, that was a very close call coming out of that turn. Dave Sylvia managed to maintain his stability.
Bobby Tripp right now is opening maybe a little bit of a lead. It looks like he has a little more power going down the straightaway, or was able to power through the corners and get a little more momentum onto the straightaway. And then Ray Lee's able to close it up a little.
As the tonight's 100-lap feature race in the Pro Stock Division, we're with Wayne Dion, the 99 car, making enormous changes at the last minute. A lot of these drivers and their crews have to jockey because you go from the 35-lapper to the 100-lapper. Wayne, not to disturb you, what are you doing right now putting in?
Well, we've been running a little bit too hot tonight, and we can't take any chances for the 100-lapper. So we got to get it cooled down. I just sent somebody out to Home Depot to get some aluminum sheets for us, and we're making up some ductwork to keep the air going through the radiator rather than around it.
Scotch tape and paper clips if you need them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of guys, you see cardboard being used for templates, and actually cardboard to fabricate some stuff today. So you got to do what you got to do at the last minute.
Do you like the way the car's running tonight?
We're running absolutely tremendous. It's the best that we've run all year. So hopefully, if we have any kind of luck, we'll do well.
Great. Good luck, Wayne Dion, 99 car.
Thank you.
As the field really opens up now, it's the 94 car of Rick Martin, who was not charged in a previous yellow flag. We thought he may be, but he was not charged as an accident car, so he maintains his standing, trying to make his way around. There's your leader, the 88 car, Ray Lee in the 33, both battling it out.
And boy, let's point to, let's give some credit to Rick Martin. He's come out of nowhere here. All of a sudden, he's battling for third place.
He really is doing a fine job coming into tonight's racing with only a 14-point lead in the point standings. And with a tremendous roar, we can feel the wind right here in the broadcast tower as they make their way past us. They really stir up quite a vortex around this oval. Rick Martin in that 94 car again making his move on the outside of Chad Chase, trying to scope out and pounce on third position.
He's already looking ahead. He wants to get in on this battle for the lead. Right now, Tripp and Lee is still controlling the race, although Tripp's in the lead now, and he has a little more command. It isn't quite the battle that it was when Lee was leading the race.
You're absolutely right, as Tripp now has almost no competitors whatsoever. You see a camera shot of our mid-pack, one by one, going past us. Things are really opening up. You know, Tom, this is what we normally would expect to see earlier in a race of this length, 100 laps, of course.
And we did see a little of that, but then when we get into to the middle part of the race, when things usually settle down, that's when we started seeing all those yellow flags. So it really has changed the complexion of what, normally what you'd expect in a 100-lap race here at Seekonk.
I'm not sure if we got that on film, but we had a backfire that looked like the 41 car of Lenny Ellis, and now he's slowing down as he makes his way down the back straight. He's out of the way. We are still under green as he makes his way toward the pits, but Lenny Ellis has not had a good evening whatsoever. Racing is hot and heavy, and it continues in this LaCava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race, the second of 3 in the 1995 season here at Seekonk Speedway.
Now you're seeing some lapping going on. Jeff Thompson is blowing an awful lot of oil, too, and he's got the leader right behind him. There you see it. That's not where Bobby Tripp wants to be. You see he dives to the inside quickly.
And Tripp in that 88 car getting underneath Thompson. Thompson, again, as Tom just mentioned, is lap traffic. He is not in the running. And neither is Tony Dias. Tony Dias now being lapped in that 22 car.
And now all of a sudden we're seeing what we talked about earlier, because Ray Lee's just made his way past Jeff Thompson, and that gave Bobby Tripp an opportunity to open up a few car length lead. Right now it's probably 6 car lengths between him and Ray Lee.
Dave Blanchard, who for much of this race, and now we've got a problem on the back straight. We will see it as they approach. It's Dick Houlihan in that one car, and a complete complete halt on that back straight. Not involved in an accident at all. He just simply stopped working, Tom.
There he's parked along the outside, just coming out of the third turn. So now that'll bunch things up again.
And according to my calculations, number 9, that's the 9th caution of the night. And it looks like Dick Houlihan may actually go out on the hook. And there's your leader. There's Houlihan now. He just stopped working.
Actually, it's amazing, 100-lap race that we haven't had more cars just stop working. Most of the cars that have left the track have been involved in something. So these guys were well prepared tonight.
We'll take advantage of this caution to take a brief pause. Stay right where you are, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back to Seekonk Speedway. This is CVI Sports.
Driving doesn't just kill drunk drivers. Next time your friend insists on driving drunk, do whatever it takes to stop him.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LaCava Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race here at Seekonk Speedway. I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring and John Horrigan. We welcome you from all of us here at CVI Sports. And, of course, we welcome Auto Trader Magazine as our sponsor tonight for our race coverage. Auto Trader Magazine, new on board for us. It's published weekly. I'll tell you, Tom, it's something that most people take for granted, but you can find it in all your local newsstands. You're looking for a used automobile, that's where to turn to. And we're back on the green. And again, Ray Lee in that 33 car can't maintain it. He drops back. Tom, I think you were right. He just does not have what he had earlier. And Bobby Tripp is doing a fine job of maintaining that lead. And up from the pack is the 94 car in third position. Rick Martin in that car.
We talked about the car, the fact that in a 100-lap race you can be in trouble early and still make a race of it. Rick Martin is the perfect example of that. Boy, this guy never quits. He's running in third place now, and his mission right now is to get by Ray Lee. I think if he can do it early enough, we've got 79, I think, laps down. If he can do it soon, then you're going to see a race for the lead.
That's very, very possible, especially considering the history of the yellow flags. We've had 9 of them here tonight. Sylvia in that 0 car, he was showing some signs of trouble before.
Make that 10, Pete. There's another yellow flag.
I spoke too soon, Tom.
It's all your fault.
Down on the
Dave
infield,
Blanchard.
it's Blanchard, who was a leader for quite a lot of the early parts of this race. Dave Blanchard in that 74 automobile.
Well, Kevin, I'm not really speechless, but
He had started this race on the outside of the first row, so and did a good job of holding the lead for quite a while, but I think it was apparent he didn't have the best working car out here. Once Ray Lee got by him early in the race, Ray Lee was able to open up a big margin, and it took a few laps before anybody else could get around Blanchard.
And Blanchard now going to the pits, and this when he comes out of the pits, according to the rule book, he will come back at the end of the field.
You see a few cars there who've already called it a night in the Pro Stock division. We still have the Sportsman race to go yet tonight, so those cars there in that up that end of the pits were Pro Stocks, however.
It's that Bay State Lincoln Mercury automobile of Fred Estelle, the 48 car.
Carrying the Ford Motor Corporation banner here at Seekonk.
I thought I saw a Newport, Rhode Island Highline in the back of that automobile, too. He's got himself a new sponsor.
Again,
sponsors are, of course, so important here in auto racing, not just here in short track, but everywhere, right up through NASCAR ranks.
They make the sport possible.
And again, making everything possible tonight, the good folks at Auto Trader Magazine, the preeminent publication when you're looking for a quality used automobile, you want listings, they've got them in the Auto Trader magazine. You can find it in just about any newsstand,
It's also
any of the convenience stores.
Also a good thing to pick up, just to give you an idea, you're out and, shopping for a used car, thinking about it. You just pick up an Auto Trader magazine. You can thumb through it and see what cars are, what the prices are, and helps you when you're shopping.
Something that even I may be doing very soon. Give them a call, 401-946-6400 if you want to place an ad or inquire about an ad. Great guys. We met Lou DeMario, the marketing director, who told me that it's a very young company, 5 years old, yet in those 5 years they've managed to become nationwide with 72 offices, 30 states.
That's Ray Lee in the pits right now, and what started out as a real promising night for him, he was running really well early. Now he's in the pits, motor problems, probably, whatever. When we saw him drop into second position, that's probably what they're examining right now. As long as he was able to hang in there, he was going to stay out. But now that he's started dropping back in position, wasn't a factor anymore. They figured they'd bring the car in. That's speculation on my part. I've been doing a lot of that tonight, but you want to know what's going on. And again, we've talked all evening about how a 100-lap race is a lot different than a 35-lap race. Now it's late in the show, but he wasn't a factor anymore. So they'll try to get him back out there so that he can survive the evening.
And as you see this Pro Stock Division parade toward the center of your screen, looking for the green, we've got it. It's Bobby Tripp on the inside, and Rick Martin in that 94 car. Tom is poised. He is poised and wound like a cat.
Ray Lee's bad luck was Rick Martin's good luck, because now we can see what he's got here for Bobby Tripp.
Rick Martin in that 94 automobile, Wayne Dion in the 99, all of them breathing down the back of Bobby Tripp in that 88 car. We'll see if Tripp has what it takes to make it the remaining laps in this 100-lap race. Rick Martin running very, very well as they head down that back straight. We saw Ray Lee make just a little bit of a mistake, and in a blink of an eye, Bobby Tripp take advantage of it, and anything can happen here in a 100-lap race.
I'll tell you, I love to watch Rick Martin when he's in second. I'd rather watch him in second than in the lead for sure, because he's a crafty driver, and if you keep an eye on him, he'll go low, he'll go high. You can watch him try to set Bobby Tripp up, and then you have the opportunity to watch Bobby Tripp and how he reacts to what Rick Martin's doing behind him.
Rick Martin really can set a trap. We saw him do it earlier in the season when he won his Pro Stock Division feature. Trapping, I believe it was Tex Barry, and then nabbing the win in the last 3 laps of the race. And now Martin dropping back. Martin just dropped back. He slowed down. Bobby Tripp now with a commanding lead as Rick Martin in that 94 car seems to be slowing down, Tom.
Yeah, it certainly seems to. It seemed like he had enough car to stay right on Tripp's tail, but at the moment now, obviously there's a few laps to go here. If this were a 35-lap race, this would be early in the race. There are a lot of laps. I see the sign for 10 from Al Rodriguez right now. We got 10 laps to go, so here at Seekonk, that's a lot of time.
90 laps completed this Calver-Sowersby 100-lap Pro Stock race. Bobby Tripp on the left-hand side of your screen, your current leader, being challenged by Rick Martin in the 94. We'll see if Martin's got what it takes. Wayne Dean on that 99 car, again, as he has done so many times this season, making his way through the field, getting up into the top runners, but not getting the feature.
And we talked, I think we mentioned, Bobby Tripp has not won a feature tonight. That's an important point to make if we haven't already. This could be Tripp's first opportunity.
Wayne Dion right there in that 99 car. Channing in the 23.
That's Channing, the battle for third right now.
He came into the race in 5th, Channing did, in the points lead, in the points race, excuse me. Also important here, the Seekonk Speedway.
In the top 4 right now, and Dick Houlihan is in 5th. So the top 4 are among the top 5. Dick Houlihan, the top 5 cars in this race right now with the points leaders at Seekonk Speedway.
And we saw Dick Houlihan go out previously, causing one of the yellows. He just simply straight.
The old cliche, the cream rises to the top. That's certainly the case tonight at Seekonk Speedway in this first half 100 lap race.
I believe we're down to 3 or 4 laps. Bobby Tripp now really holding his own. Wayne Dion right there, Channing in the 23 car, Dion in the 99, as they battle for 3rd and 4th position. But your leaders are still Bobby Tripp in the 88 car right there with 2 laps to go. 98 laps complete in this LaCava Sour Speed 100 lap Pro Stock race. Can Rick Martin do it? No, I don't think he can. Tom, I don't think he's got what it takes.
Doesn't look like
something is wrong with that automobile. With 1 lap to go.
Well, the other possibility, too, we haven't discussed is maybe Bobby Tripp was just holding back a little bit to make sure he had enough to finish the race.
And looking for the checker flag. Here it comes. Bobby Tripp, your winner. The LaCava Sowersby 100 lap Pro Stock race here at Seekonk Speedway. And what a race it was.
Unofficially, that was Bobby Tripp, Rick Martin, and then Wayne Dion, Steve Channing, and Dick Houlihan came in 5th.
Of course, Rick Martin doing a fabulous job. He made his way from very deep into the field to take 2nd place.
He started in 17th.
Bobby Tripp in the 88 car, though, taking the sweet victory. Again, he started deep into the field as well.
13th. So great job by those guys. Congratulations to Bobby Tripp, his first feature win this year.
Indeed, indeed. And so there you have it. Unofficially, it's Bobby Tripp in the 88 car taking the checker flag in this 2nd of 3 100-lap Pro Stock races at Seekonk Speedway. And there's our victorious driver right there. A handshake and the checker flag being handed to him from Mark Cunha. We'll look for our Auto Trader Magazine CVI Sports replay of the big finish. Another angle, indeed, as we see him go down that back straight. This Bobby Tripp in that 88 car. His numbers obscured from previous accidents. No race at all, though. Rick Martin just did not have him. Did not have him in his sights as Tripp made his way down.
My guess would be that Bobby Tripp just had the car tonight, the class of the field, as the race ended. I don't think that Rick Martin had any particular problems. As much as I would have liked to have seen Rick Martin knocking on the door there, that's not what Bobby Tripp wanted to see.
Not at all. And you can see the amount of damage sustained by Tripp under one of our previous cautions. Yet his crew did a fine job, a tremendous job indeed, in that ABC floor covering car. The number 88 of Bobby Tripp.
Damage on both sides of the car. They'll be making repairs, but it's a little easier to get into repairing those cars when the car did the job and won the race.
There'll be certainly a lot of celebration with Bobby Tripp and his family and crew tonight. It's an all-important race.
What an interesting race that was, too. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Very different than we expected in a 100-lapper, as we see Bobby Tripp and his fans making their way to a victory lane at Seekonk Speedway to get to meet the driver. Look at that car, Tom.
But it's all sheet metal. It looks like the car survived. He proved it. There was no damage there that mattered.
Absolutely. And so a great job in this LaCava Sowersby 100 lap feature event in the Pro Stock division at Seekonk Speedway. Bobby Tripp, your winner. Okay, we'll take a moment now to regroup ourselves, but don't you go away. This is CVI Sports.
Because disaster strikes someone every single day. There's always going to be one more night someone needs food, shelter, and a place to rest. Please support the American Red Cross. Because without your help, one more night could be hard to come by.
John Horrigan with Bobby Tripp, winner of the LeCava and Sorsby 100. Congratulations.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot.
Bobby, great race. You started in the 7th row outside. Early on to the right side of your car, you lost the right door. What happened there?
Did I really? Over here.
Let's talk about the race.
You're picking on me.
Great race. Ray Lee out there refused to relinquish the lead. Finally, you waited. You caught him on a restart. Good job.
I was hoping he was going to slow up some, but he wasn't. So I had to give it all I had.
Yeah.
And I was hoping my car wasn't going to slow up after I did.
Yeah. You ran real tight tonight. You went into the turns well. You didn't have much fishtailing. It was a soft track out there.
Yeah, it was a pretty good track. I don't know. The front stretch was a little slippery, but the back stretch I was able to gain whatever I lost.
What about when Richard Martin put the chase on you late in the race? You looked like a bootlegger running from the county sheriff.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I never saw him aside from the start. I was hoping he wasn't near me, but he's a good runner.
Yeah, and your experience held out. Congratulations, Bobby Tripp, winner of the LeCava and Sorsby 100.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for rejoining us, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at Seekonk Speedway, and this is the Sportsman Division. I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring and John Horrigan, our track reporter. As we look for a green, we are underway. Saturday night, July 15th, and it is a great night of racing indeed. We're glad you're with us, and we'd also like you to join us to welcome Auto Trader Magazine as a sponsor of tonight's racing. Fine job indeed. Is Rich McRae. I'll let you say it, Tom.
Yes, Richard McRae was our early leader. He isn't anymore, so what's the point? Ken Colvin in the number 6 is the car that's McRae and Colvin are the two cars battling at the moment.
And he got loose in that 6 car, but he maintained. The reason we alluded to McRae that way, ladies and gentlemen, is somehow or another, Tom and I, we were discussing that we may actually be jinxing Rich McRae, so we'll try to keep our comments down to a pertinent minimum few.
Notice how he lost the lead as soon as I mentioned his name. So continues. Ken Banford's the car, the number 15 car that's currently in 2nd place, and the number 9 is Paul Van Ass.
This is, again, the Sportsman Division here at Seekonk Speedway. We are CVI Sports. Auto Trader Magazine is your sponsor tonight, bringing us all the racing action as it develops Saturday night, July 15th. A beautiful night indeed. There's Kenny Banford in that 15 car. In the 13 automobile, it's Rich McRae as he fights to maintain that lead. 1, 2, and 3 with Vanessa in the 9 car, taking up the top 3.
Ken Cola Jr. is the car that's in 4th, the white car that you see looking to the inside, trying to get inside Van Ass.
As they roar by us here in the broadcast tower. On the outside, you see Van Ass in that 9 car going way high, coming out of turn 4. You need an awful lot of muscle in this division to get that high and still maintain any kind of position indeed.
Good job by Kenny Cola. He's taking over 2nd place. Dave Titus in the number 2.
Titus coming down, looking for the inside groove, the preferred groove, if you will, here at Seekonk Speedway. But Rich McRae, your current leader, maintains. And he's got himself a very good lead, Tom.
And a very good running car there, because he's really kind of in command as a lot of other cars are mixing it up.
And up through the ranks is Ray Alexander in that 4 car, no stranger to the front ranks in this division.
Ray Alexander actually started in 12th. He didn't waste any time pulling up through the field. He always does that every week.
You know, Tom, you and I have seen this over and over again. That man knows how to drive that automobile on this track. There's no question about it.
In traffic, he's going to be one of the best drivers in traffic this track sees.
Looking to make his way as he battles it out for 3rd position on the outside of Titus, and they get a little loose. It looked to be a couple of sparks flying, but they maintain.
We're at the halfway point of this 25-lap race. We didn't waste any time doing that as they've all been run under green.
And you just saw him, Alexander, just bump the tail end of Titus in that 2 car. They both maintain their straightaway, and we've got a Well, we're maintaining green as he's back underway. That looked to be the 89 car, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Al Rodriguez was ready to wave the yellow flag, but he felt he didn't have to, so we stay with green flag racing.
And now the battle goes on the outside of McRae is that 43 automobile of Kenny Kohler Jr. Kenny Kohler really fighting hard on that outside, but look who is knocking. That's right, it's the 4 car again of Ray Alexander. He's got some body damage on that right front panel. Rich McRae must feel the pressure now, Tom.
Oh, absolutely. He's got Kohler on the outside, Ray Alexander behind, and Dave Titus. That's the ex-Chad Chase car, the car that Chad Chase ran in the Sportsman division last year. And, you couldn't ask for a better car, and Dave Titus is making it work.
And look at this. Ray Alexander is drafting McRae in that 13 car. Again, now McRae gets sideways.
Nice job by Rich McRae to hold that there.
But Kenny Kohler takes advantage of it, and now he takes the lead in that 43 car, and here comes Alexander on the outside, dropping McRae back to 3rd position. What a job. What racing action indeed in this division. This is, of course, the Sportsman division at Seekonk Speedway. Second only to the Pro Stocks.
It won't be long before Ray Alexander's fighting for the lead with Kenny Kohler.
And Kenny Manford in the 15 car. You see going by your screen. Kenny Kohler in the 43. Alexander in the 4. Battle it out as they go through turn 4 down the front straight.
5 laps to go here. Be an exciting 5 laps. Ray Alexander trying to get outside Kenny Kohler.
Ray Alexander in that Hollister automobile. Look at him move. Boy, I'll tell you, the sheet metal damage gets worse and worse. He's going to do everything he can to keep that car, well, maintained, if you will. If that hood flies up, it could spell the end of the race for him. It looks bad, I'll tell you.
Isn't affecting the job he's doing, though.
Talk about aerodynamics. Again, the 43 car. Kenny Kohler Jr., your current leader, walking into that inside groove, not giving Alexander the chance. As we get down to 2 laps. 2 laps to go, and now Alexander is in trouble. Alexander is in big trouble as he approached that back straight. A shower of sparks are flying out of that car.
Yeah, he's got 2 flat tires in the front. He actually lost, I think, the right outside tire as he went by the start-finish line, even before he started to lose position.
And we're looking for the checker flag for Kenny Kohler Jr., your leader and your winner in the Sportsman division. The checker flag, a very tough break for Ray Alexander in that 4 automobile. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Pete Silver, along with Tom Ring, up here in the broadcast tower, bringing you CVI Sports coverage of auto racing at Seekonk Speedway. Tom, I don't know, what do you say for a race, a 100-lap Pro Stock race that had 10 caution flags in it? Very unusual indeed.
It made our job easier because there were so many times that it bunched the field up again. There was no opportunity for anybody really to, for a leader to get out ahead, to start using the traffic like we talked about, and actually that made it a great race because we saw those restarts. We saw Bobby Tripp trying to get around Ray Lee. Unfortunately, after Ray Lee lost the lead, he had to leave the track with obviously some motor problems, I think, but that set up for the finish with Rick Martin in second place, and Bobby Tripp did a great job tonight.
Absolutely.
It was really an interesting race, I thought.
Very interesting, you know, and again, we've mentioned this earlier, but they were driving much more aggressively than I think you would normally see in a 100-lap race. They were really going for it.
With all those yellow flags, it kept everybody in the race. It wasn't a situation where the car in 4th or 5th had a lot of traffic to pass before there was any hold. That really worked for Rick Martin. I think that's why Rick Martin was able to get into the race again, to get into second, because as he moved up through the field, the yellow flags would bring the field together. It gave him the opportunity to make a race of it.
Certainly did. Certainly did. Very, very close to taking the race indeed. We'll stay tuned right here. We've got the results coming up for you in just a minute of all the divisions of racing here at Seekonk Speedway. And here we have them. In the street stock division, Amasi Hardman in the number 40 car took the win. Tom?
Ron Laura was in second place tonight. Matt Dewey, who he had a good night tonight to come in third position. Bob Demers in fourth, and Gary Parmenter, who started on the pole tonight, finished in fifth position in the street stocks.
We'll take a look now, the Sportsman division, for CVI Sports Auto Trader Magazine results board. The number 43 car of Ken Kohler Jr. takes the checker flag. Number 13 car of Rich McRae did a tremendous job of staying in the hunt, taking second place. Dave Titus in the 2 automobile, top 3. Dana Willis in the 55, and Steve Ribby in the 18, rounding out the top 5 in the Sportsman division.
In the Pro Stock, the ARC Pro Stock results, the top 5 cars tonight are the top 5 cars in the points, although not in the same order. Bobby Tripp won the race tonight. Rick Martin, the current points leader, came in second. Wayne Dion, the number 99 car, he doesn't have his first win tonight, but he continues to run well, and that keeps him up near the top in the point standing. Steve Channing, who won the last 100-lap race here, came in fourth, and then Chad Chase in fifth position, number 9 car.
And there you have it, the results for our 100-lap Le Havre Sowersby Pro Stock race at Seekonk Speedway. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for joining us here tonight, Saturday night, July 15th. And we also thank, in a very big way, Auto Trader Magazine for bringing us the racing action tonight. We hope that they will be on board for many races to come. Once again, I'm Pete Silva, along with Tom Ring and John Horgan. This has been CVI Sports coverage of auto racing at Seekonk Speedway. Good night.
And his crew.